Liverpool Football Club haven't just won one game of football, we've won 2 games.
When we sign players and we see what they can do, we're expecting that straight away in our team. The expectations at Liverpool are sky high, but it takes time, and we're seeing now the team starting to gel. I think we're at the corner, peering round, seeing who's there.
Right.
Like, what's ahead of us? Okay, can we come round?
So basically, we're going to win the double and get top 4. I'm convinced. You've heard it here first, Paul.
Probably future captain material, as people have been saying. Somebody who can guide the club and lead the club, and hopefully, as I say, he can win many cups and lift many cups for Liverpool. That's all we want. It was telling that Slot praised his work off the ball against Brighton, and if this looks like the long goodbye, he looks determined to sign off with a bang. I hope it's the easiest possible one off the draw that we can get.
Yeah.
Keep winning, get to the final.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We are on TalkSport's YouTube channel and your smart TVs, and this show is sponsored by BetMGM. You can download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. It is 18 plus. Gambleaware.org, and please gamble responsibly. I'm your host, Sam Ellard, and alongside me today is the former Liverpool winger, Jermaine Pennant, and the former British super middleweight champion of the world, Paul Smith. Guys, happy Monday morning. How are we?
I'm great. I'm good. Very good.
Spirits are high this morning. Paul, it's a shame you're not with us in this. Didn't fancy the train down on a Monday morning?
No, you just make me work too much, to be honest with you. I'm on too many trains, but I'm going to try something. I'm going to try staying away while we're winning, because the minute I come back, we lose, so I'm going to stay here.
It's good vibes, isn't it, this morning? We've never had the green room, the makeup room, it was buzzing this morning, because since our last episode of Inside Liverpool, Liverpool Football Club haven't just won one game of football, we've won 2 games of football. We beat Sunderland, didn't we, last Wednesday night in the Premier League, and Liverpool are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, only the 4th time in the last 11 seasons, which surprised me how sort of poor that record was after a 3-0 win against Brighton at Anfield. Goals from Jones, Szoboszlai, Salah giving us the win. What a contrast as well, Jermaine, when you think back to last year when we crashed out in the 4th round against Plymouth. This was a different team, different intent, different priorities. Most important thing is a win, and we're into the next round.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing right now, is consistency, playing well and getting rhythm. And I think Slot learnt the lesson the hard way last season in the FA Cup. Like, you can't go to these ties and take it lightly. Everyone's out there to try and beat you. And I was glad to see that in putting a strong team out there to, like I said, get that momentum. When you keep winning, it's like an habit. And we saw that with a solid performance from Sunderland, and chase that back up with a comfortable win against Brighton. Yeah,
I think last year, basically didn't care, did he? Like, off the top of my head, he obviously played a weakened team at Plymouth. I'm fairly certain he didn't even bring the first teamers on the bench in that Plymouth game. So obviously priorities this year are clearly different. Only Ekitike and Gravenberch of his regular starters were rested. Ekitike did come from the bench late on. Paul, you were there Saturday night at Anfield. One of the best home performances of the season?
Yeah, listen, we played well. It was good. It was a good little atmosphere. It was more enjoyable. I think there was a lot more couples and families there. It would be on Valentine's Day on Saturday, but it was nice to see. It was nice to see. You know what I mean? It's a bit easier being a fan, being more relaxed at Anfield rather than chasing something which you've been doing a lot this year, when we go one down or we go behind and the stress starts in the crowd. So it was a totally different atmosphere with the Brighton game. But happy days, as I said, to win 2 on the bounce. The Sunderland one I was really worried about, to be fair. And it seems weird that we're saying that, but they've been obviously great all season. So to get two wins on them, 3 points on the board in the next round of the FA Cup, great going forward.
I think I owe Inside Liverpool and our loyal fans an apology. There I was Saturday night, doing the right thing, going out on Valentine's Day. And Jermaine, you were here working hard at TalkSport. And Paul, you went to the match, didn't you? You took the other half. Was she happy with the Valentine's Day gift?
Yeah. I told her I booked us a table, a little bit of food and all that, and she was happy on the way. And then we pulled up outside the ground. That was the seat. But we took my little girl as well. She's obsessed with Ekitike, and she had a shirt on with a number on the back. I know, yeah, I'm telling you. I know. He's a breath of fresh air at the moment. I was just happy he came on for there, to be honest with you. But as I said, good, better atmosphere, better a bit more relaxed, obviously. And as soon as you go one up, it's great. It's easier. Then it sort of takes the weight off a little bit. But then obviously, as you know, how we've been recently, you can't really switch off. It's Liverpool at the moment, really. So we have to be careful and not get too carried away with a 1-0 lead. But then it obviously became 2-3 in happy days.
Yeah, it's is it too early to say we've turned a corner? Maybe we're turning a corner. But what I did like about that performance on Saturday night was pretty much the first time in months. It felt like it was a controlled performance where maybe by the first 10 minutes of Brighton had a couple of half chances. It felt like we were keeping possession, we were solid defensively, and it felt like an old-school Liverpool performance where a lower league team in the Premier League comes to Anfield, we dominate the game, control the game, get the victory. There's no stress. It was nice to have to not to have to worry about a performance.
Yeah, it was a complete performance. You know, when you're playing against teams, listen, a team's always going to have parts of the game where they're a little bit dangerous, you know, a 10, 15-minute spell. And it's all about just weathering that storm. And we did. And then obviously we grew into the game and took control. It's just nice to see everyone confidence, you know, bloom. And I think the last couple of performances, even the Man City game, you know, there's no odd feat in losing to Man City. And that game could have gone either way. It could have gone either way.
The manner we lost though to Man City was unacceptable.
But that's what it was. That it was two late silly goals, but in essence, we probably should have been winning that game because of the second half performance, the chances that we had. But again, it was a good performance. I know we lost with two last crazy goals, but that performance we carried it on to Sunderland, and that performance we've now carried it on to Brighton, and the defence now finally looks solid.
Back-to-back clean sheets for the first time since mid-December. I'd love to know what Ibrahima Konate was doing over Christmas and New Year, because the Konate towards the end of 2025, absolute disaster. Last couple of weeks, 2026, it looks like the old Ibrahima Konate. He's been outstanding, hasn't he?
Yeah, and listen, I've been one of his critics because I can only go on what I'm seeing week in, week out, and the performances wasn't there. So, you know, if you're not putting performances, you're making mistakes, you're putting yourself up for fair critics. But now he's showing what he was the seasons previous to that, which is fantastic. And if he can stay in that kind of form and consistency, then of course we love him and want him to stay in new contracts, just as long as it may continue. So yeah, whatever he's done over the Christmas period, you know, continue to do that.
Yeah, Arne Slot speaking about Konate's contract does expire at the end of this season. He said we're in talks with him, so that tells you what we want. It's clear we would like him to stay. Negotiations are ongoing. Let's see where that ends. We wouldn't be in negotiations if we didn't want him to stay. He went on to say he is vital to the team. How would you see it, Paul? It felt like lots of Liverpool fans would have been happy to see him sail off into the sunset at the end of the season, but he's making up for it, isn't he, over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, and listen, I was one of the first to say, I always try and point this out. I'm a fan watcher, but me as a fan watcher, I've been frustrated with him this season compared to what he's been the previous season, should we say. But for me, if he wasn't hinting or suggesting anything about Madrid or leaving, then I want him to sign as long as he wants to stay. But if a player's umming and ahhing about whether he possibly want to stay, for me, I'd rather him go, and I'd rather someone be here who really wants to be here. But if he really wants to be here, then by all means, I'd love to sign him, because I think he's obviously deep down in there, there's a top player there somewhere, but we don't see him consistently enough, and he's been a bit more back to his old self the last couple of games. And I know he lost his father. I know he's had a family tragedy, and we're thinking about him for that. But as I say, if he's back now and this is the standard which we know he's got and he's had all the time, then long may it continue. But it's just been very patchy, to say the least, this season, hasn't it, with his form.
Why is that, Jermaine? How can a player go through long periods where he looks like he's going to make a mistake every time the ball comes near him?
Confidence.
And then just like that, he looks now like the old Konate where nothing's getting past him. Is it confidence?
It's simply confidence, and it doesn't help when your senior peer alongside you is also having a dodgy time, which Virgil was.
They all were, to be fair, weren't they, pretty much?
And then on back at the team is not in a good place in itself. And it's just literally confidence. You don't keep a clean sheet, you make a mistake, then the next week you don't keep a clean sheet, you make another mistake. That's just confidence. You then, that ball that you usually feel comfortable passing down the line, you're a bit timid, you go, do you know what, let me do it simple. You go in yourself.
Sure.
And that's how you make your mistakes. And I'm sure during the game as well, you've got thoughts running through your head like, oh no, all eyes are on me. And that just puts more pressure on yourself. It's literally confidence. Sport is just 50% of it probably is confidence. If you're booming with confidence, you think that everything you do in touch is going to work. And usually it does because, you believe in yourself. So it's literally just confidence. Like these back-to-back, as a defender, clean sheets is like goals. So with these 2 clean sheets, look, Alisson, Virgil, all the defence will be probably high-fiving after the game and whatnot. And going to the next game thinking, yeah, we're going to keep another clean sheet now. It's simple as that.
Talking then of defenders, I thought Milos Kerkez impressed once again. Really good defence. He looks a lot more organised, doesn't he? I think in the first kind of couple of weeks of the season, I thought he was quite rash. He'd rush into challenges, give away stupid fouls. Good defensively. Got the assists. He's now 2 assists in his last 3 games at Liverpool, meaning he's got more goal contributions in that short period of time than he managed in his 30 previous appearances for Liverpool. Do you think maybe lots of people, maybe some Liverpool fans, maybe myself included, will be a little bit too quick, Jermaine, to judge Milos Kerkez because sometimes it's not that simple, is it? Young kid makes a step up. Sometimes they need time to settle in, and we're seeing that with Kerkez.
Listen, we've all been faulted here. When we sign players and we see what they can do, we're expecting that straight away in our team. As soon as you put on that jersey, we want to see why we bought you and the performance you're putting in at Bournemouth or wherever you were at. And we wasn't, so you get a little bit frustrated. But you're in a new team with more pressure. Your expectations at Liverpool are sky high, and you've still got to find out your teammates. You've got to find out the style of play. And it takes time. But as fans, we're impatient. We want to see it straight away. But it takes time, and we're seeing now the team starting to gel. The more time they spend on the training pitch, the more time they're playing together. They know weaknesses and strengths. And we're now starting to see the benefits from some of our star players. And the more it goes on, we'll see more Florian Wirtz, which has been fantastic. He's came in already, hit the ground running. But players like Kerkez, we are going to start seeing why we bought them.
I guess, Paul, you can't get into the Premier League Team of the Year, can you, like you did last season if you're a bad player, right?
No, you can't. And there's obviously something in there that all them analysts and stat men at the club have seen and that obviously the average fan like me doesn't see. But you've got to give a young kid and a new signing time, obviously, and like the thing with Wirtz, as Jermaine just said, I think he's obviously class. He probably wasn't the best on the weekend to his own standards, but it's FA Cup, we're winning it comfortably, and he's improving game by game. But I think Kerkez is a little bit as well. He's obviously shown a lot more signs now of the player that we bought and spent that money for. And long may continue. His work rate's obviously good. He's very good work rate and effort. Many probably felt on the weekend that Robertson would have played, but I think probably 2 games on the bounce might be a bit much at this stage with his age. And again, Jermaine will know more than that on me. But listen, long may this continue. Obviously, we've got some fixtures coming up away for us, West Ham at home. You'd say they were winnable games, especially and Wolves after that.
Do you think we turned the corner, Paul? Did it feel like that being inside Anfield that things are starting to turn for the better, or is it just too early to say that on the back of 2 victories?
Well, yeah, but and that's what I'm sort of getting to. Like, theoretically, we should be winning those games well, but theoretically, this season we should have won many of our games that we've had, and we've lost and drawn them. So I hope this is a corner turned, and I hope it's the start of something that can see us have a good, strong finish to the season, get guaranteed top 4 football with a bit of luck, and have a good run in the cups. But we've said all this before, haven't we? And then something happens, and then an injury
Forest
comes.
2, Liverpool 0 on Sunday afternoon, and we're back here on Tuesday having the same conversation, right?
I don't want to jump the gun.
No, let's not be negative.
I don't want to jump the gun. I think we're at the corner, peering round, seeing who's there.
Right.
Like, what's ahead of us? Okay, can we come round? And then we walk around the corner.
So basically, we're going to win the double and get top 4. I'm convinced. You've heard it here first, Paul. That's an Inside Liverpool exclusive. We've got Isak ready to come back and finish off the season strongly. Jermaine, we can't do it. We're contractually obliged to do an Inside Liverpool show where we have to praise Dominik Szoboszlai. Over to you, take it away. Wax lyrical about that beautiful specimen in our midfield.
Yeah, he's season by season, he's just getting better and better and better. And this is obviously his best season since he's been at Liverpool. And if we're talking about some of the great midfielders that Liverpool have had and graced the turf of Anfield, I've got to say at the moment, he's the closest thing to Steven Gerrard that we've had in a long time. We've had some great captains, Jordan Henderson, won great things at Liverpool, but I think he is the closest thing. he's got a bit of everything. He can spray the way he strikes a ball is like a Steven Gerrard-esque / Alonso. His work rate is Steven Gerrard-esque. He likes to tackle it here and there as well. Ability on the ball, fantastic. At the moment, he's the heartbeat of that Liverpool team.
Like, I think obviously it goes without saying Steven Gerrard's the best midfielder to Premier League era in my lifetime that we've had. And I agree with you. I think Alonso's passing. You think of Fabinho in terms of where he used to sit in front of the back four and marshal it. You think of the way the Wijnaldum, Milner, Henderson midfield three worked together, that it was so functional. But I think based on, I want to echo exactly what you just said there, based on all-round package, this boy can do absolutely everything. One thing that I love as well about him that reminds me about Stevie is think earlier this season when we were losing week in, week out, he was the sort of player that wanted to make something happen. He was the only good thing that we had. Think about Gerrard, who used to drag Liverpool to victories. I see the similar traits with Szoboszlai, not just the ability, but the leadership qualities as well.
Well, we've seen it. The goal against Arsenal, if it wasn't for him, we don't win that game. Man City, I think we should have won that game. Again, it was one of his fantastic strikes. So, yeah, he's definitely going in that right direction. Can he be Steven Gerrard?
But right now, Jermaine, he's one of the most complete midfielders on the planet right now. He can do absolutely... There's not one thing he can't do.
Right now, yeah. He's a complete midfielder. He's scoring goals. He's assisting goals. His work rate is fantastic. Like I said, Slot loves how his athleticism, the way he gets up and down the pitch, is just brilliant. And you need that in your team. And right now, that is a complete midfielder.
Paul, hard to disagree with that?
Yeah, listen, we see so many people being compared to Stevie Gerrard, and as you said, like there's been so many over the years that have come in, and any similarities, I used to see similarities with Fabinho, the way he used to run, the way he used to hold himself, and that in a similar size frame as Stevie. He was obviously big and slim and loved to tackle. I think that's what's lacking in Szoboszlai when we're comparing him with Gerrard, the tackling and the getting stuck in. But obviously, Szoboszlai's strong in other areas himself. I'm not saying stronger than Gerrard. It's difficult to say when you're comparing anyone with Gerrard, obviously, and we'll probably have it in years to come when anyone starts comparing players to Mo Salah. We've had it with Torres, Suarez, and in recent times, and everyone probably used to compare the older players towards your Dalglish's and likes. But I think Gerrard's special. Szoboszlai's showing unbelievable sort of potential to be that. He's 25 as well, so there's still plenty of time to go. That's why you can't completely write him off on doing what we hope he'll do. And as long as he keeps continuing, then great. I said a while ago, someone said to me he was another Emre Can, and it put a bit of a dampener on it for me.
Said that?
It sort of, one of the lads I go to match with said that.
Get him on the show next week. Well, I mean, that's slander.
He plays a bit of football as well. That makes it worse.
Name names. Who is it?
Listen, you won't know him, don't worry. But, listen,
this guy knows everyone in Liverpool, by the way.
You won't know him as long as he's performing and improving year after year. Then obviously, A, it's a brilliant signing for us. B, it's probably future captain material, as people have been saying. Someone who can guide the club and lead the club. And hopefully, as I say, he can win many cups and lift many cups for Liverpool. That's all we want as fans.
Contract this summer. Before we do anything about signing new players, selling players, I don't care. Get that man and his agent in a room and give him what he wants, because he's got 2 years left on his deal in the summer, 2028. Now, let's not get this to this time next year, where he's got a year left on his deal, and then you start panicking, thinking, do we have to sell him to get some money for him? Get it done this summer. It should be the number one priority.
Yeah, I think I'm over now of our key players getting to the 6 months or to a year left on our contract. I'm over that now. So I think we need to start addressing that moving forward. If we want to keep the core of our team, the base of our team, and build on that, we need to keep players like Dominik and make sure that they cannot get poached by Real Madrid, who love to do it, and give them a contract so they're secure. And if you want our players, you've got to pay over the odds. You've got to pay big bucks. And as a business, it wouldn't make sense. So give him, his contract end of the season, so we can, be in a safe place come next season.
Yeah, and to keep him for as long as possible. Because again, I think
says here though, as I say, sorry to interrupt you, he's 25. He's had 61 appearances for the Hungary senior team, national team. 61 at that age. He's obviously a very important player for them. And I used to watch him knocking big, massive screamer free kicks into the top corner. And thinking, like, why doesn't he do that for us? And then now he's taking the free kicks. He's doing it. Obviously, we had Trent at the time and Salah as well. But now he's primarily the free kick taker. He's absolutely burying them, and he's showing that potential that he's always out for Hungary now on the Liverpool pitch with the Liverpool shirt on, which I'm delighted about.
We used to always have to like show free kicks on social media of his Hungary days to tell everyone how good he's at free kicks. Now we can actually show scoring free kicks for Liverpool. It's nice, isn't it? Any other Dominik Szoboszlai love? I mean, the most important element, the kind of long hair. Are you a fan of it? It looks like his good forms coincide with this kind of lock back hair he's got going on, Jermaine.
You can have locks, you can have a short head, you can have a skinhead. Fade, do what you want, Dom. Just continue playing how you're playing.
Maybe
pink,
maybe,
blue.
Maybe superstitious.
Yeah.
Maybe because his form's going so good, he can't have a trim at the moment, can he?
We'll keep it longer then, mate.
The last time Brighton visited Anfield, there was a dark cloud hanging over the football club because it was 63 days earlier. Salah's future was uncertain. It was the last appearance for the club before the African Cup of Nations. It was unclear going into that game whether he was going to say goodbye temporarily or permanently, because it was just after that Lee's mix zone interview that he gave. And of course, he's come back. And it's good to see Mo Salah looks like playing with a little bit more freedom, enjoying himself. Against Brighton, he scored a goal, provided an assist, and won a penalty in the first game, in a single game for the first time since 2018. Some of these stats, Jermaine, I was reading this morning, were pleasantly surprising. He's got 15 goal assists for Salah this season in all competitions, and he obviously missed a month because of AFCON. Saka 14, Doku 14, Palmer 12, and Bremo 12. So, I mean, his numbers this season, in a bad season for Salah, are better numbers than some other players who are, possibly by their, in the...
By their fans, are the best,
you know what I'm trying to say.
Best players in the league, and you got star boys. It's crazy that we're sitting here, and we've all done it, kind of disappointed of what Salah has been this season.
And I think we are still right to
we are. But do you know why? Is because over the past 8 years, he's been phenomenal. And anything short of that, we look at it as a bad season. But this, like stats now, are people's star players' best seasons. He's doing his stats now on the worst season that we've ever seen Salah have is better than everyone's main starters. Saka's, like I said, Bremo, Doku, Palmer. And I think, are we being harsh? But is it because he set the bar so high that anything less is just not good enough? If we were to sign a new player, they'll probably give out these kind of numbers right now.
I think maybe it's a little bit, but I do think, some people, and I know non-Liverpool fans that would say that Mo Salah is in the conversation to be top 2, 3, 4, 5 best players in the Premier League era. Not just Liverpool, but in the whole Premier League era. That's sort of how good he's been. So I do think naturally when there's a drop-off from being on that pedestal and winning Liverpool the Premier League, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it was, and there is a drop-off, naturally people are going to be critical, right? And that's fair. And there was in the first 6 months, there was a drop-off. There's no doubt about that.
No, 100%. And I think that's probably why we are being a little bit critical, because we've seen such amazing football and amazing stats, goals, assists, almost every game. As soon as you stop seeing that, you start questioning, is he losing it? Has he lost it a bit? But again, the team's in a transformation period. They're still learning. He's missing one of his key allies, and that was Trent, what he used to serve. So there's going to be a slight dip.
And off-ball work as well, Jermaine, something that Arne Slot praised on the weekend. Clear to see that last season he didn't track back, but almost it was fine because he was scoring a goal every game and getting an assist every game. But I've noticed last couple of games a lot more defensive work as well, so contributing the team in that way as well, which I think is very important.
Yeah, you have to, especially when we're being so vulnerable. You need every man on that pitch helping out defensively, getting back in shape, tracking back, stopping the left back or the winger get a free run at full backs. And obviously, there's no surprise that we are keeping clean sheets now when everyone's working in sync.
Paul, this might be a long goodbye for Mo Salah. Probably likely that he does leave the club in the summer, but if it is going to be a long goodbye, it's so important, isn't it, that this legend in the football club sort of gets the send-off that he deserves. And you were there Saturday night when he got substituted. It was a standing ovation.
Yeah, and obviously what he's done in the past will speak for itself. He's I keep seeing these things on the internet, on social media as well, of before Salah. And it's just all the records before Salah with all different names. Then it's got after Salah, and it's just Salah right down them all. He smashed every record since he's been here. Looking at his stats now, obviously it's not as good as last year. Last year, 29 goals, 18 assists. But this year, as you say, 4 goals, 6 assists. He's obviously doing a lot better than some of the players. And I don't want to start this slanging match with Arsenal fans and everything else, but we see it with Saka, his numbers recently, and he's one of their obviously most spoken about players. Arsenal, they're looking like they're going to win the league possibly this year. The favourites for it, they should from this position, but he's not putting up the numbers what Salah's putting up even this season, and Salah's having a terrible season, as people would say, as Jermaine just said, to his standards. Any other player would be happy with them stats, but because he's Salah, obviously he's broken all the records and his numbers are always consistently so high. People mentioned about his pace, or maybe him losing a little bit of a yard. There's a few clips going around now from the weekend of the pace that he still has at 34 years of age. So he's been unbelievable for us. He's him, Alisson, Van Dijk, I think the 3 players that technically turned everything around for Liverpool during the Klopp era, obviously, and with Klopp it wasn't just them and everyone that contributed to it. But he will be missed when he's gone, and he does deserve definitely, as after what he's done for the club, the city, and the fans, he does deserve that send off.
Yeah, 100%. It would have been an absolute travesty if he left in January after that Leeds mix zone interview. That's just not like he deserves. However we finish the season, whether it's top 4 football, 2 trophies, 0 trophies, of the cop singing his name, there's no doubt about that. Also, the assist for Szoboszlai's goal was majestic, wasn't it? I mean, technically, it was a kind of long ball that came across to him on the right-hand side. Szoboszlai makes that run. First time cushion pass into the space of Szoboszlai to run into. I mean, technically, how difficult is it to get the weight of that pass to perfection? It was beautiful.
Well, I think when you're as good as these players are now, and you've got all the technical ability in the world, it's not that hard as it looked. They made it look easy.
Yeah, he did.
It's not that hard, but I guess when you've got that ability, you can manipulate that ball to be able to put it in his path on the run, not change his stride first time. And when you've got a player like Szoboszlai who can strike the ball the manner he does, it all comes together and works nicely. But again, it's nothing new. We've seen Salah do these kind of assists all through his career at Liverpool. Right foot, left foot, on someone's head, when they run into the path of the goal, whatever it may be, outside the foot, and that's what he's got in the locker. And I think, we will start seeing the best of Salah now, because he looks like he's happy now. Yeah. He looks like he's find a bit of form and turn that corner. He's definitely turned that corner now.
Imagine if...
I'm just reading a quote here from James Pearce saying Mo Salah's adapted since returning from AFCON. He's winning possession more frequently and creating more, as you just said, Sam. It was telling that Slot praised his work off the ball against Brighton. And if this looks like the long goodbye, he looks determined to sign off with a bang.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. I mean, we didn't need James on the show, did we? After that, he wasn't gonna top his athletic piece, was it? But no, it does look like Paul that Salah, he has got the bit between his teeth, doesn't he? I mean, also probably even when he went off, there was no sulking, was there? Big smile on his face.
Yeah, he looks probably accepting of his future. If he knows he's going to be going, and then at least give everything you've got left for the remainder of the time that you're here, and sign off on a high, or as high as you can possibly sign off with the club. And he'll always be a Liverpool icon, legend. He'll always be welcomed in the city. He'll always be thanked in the city, especially people like me who've watched us go through that drought. Will always be grateful to him for what he's contributed to the club. And as you say, if he knows it's the end and he knows he's signing off, then why not make it the best sign-off that you can possibly have, or make it the best finish that you can have from this point in time? He's a phenomenal player. He's been unbelievable for Liverpool. And I remember when we were signing, thinking he didn't really make it at Chelsea. Like, I can't see him going to make it here from Roma. And again, delighted to be completely wrong about him. I probably said the same about Sadio Mane as well. I think I mentioned.
Good job, you're not making Messi, Paul, isn't it?
I think I mentioned about signing another player from Southampton, thinking like, why are we doing this again? And then, honest to God, I never said a word after that.
But we've all been there. We've all been there. So we've got Mo Salah finding form. We know that Ekitike has kind of been consistently quite good throughout the season. Wirtz, we've spoken about on the show, looking like a top player again. If we can get, when Isak comes back, if we can get Isak to a similar sort of level of what he showed at Newcastle over the last kind of couple of seasons, which for me is one of the deadliest and most lethal strikers in world football. How does Arne Slot get all of these players in the same team? Because it's going to be a nice headache to have, isn't it? Trying to get those 4 players in the same team. Can you get all 4 of those players in the same team?
I think he can. I think if you're playing Isak down the middle, there's no reason why Ekitike can't drift off on the left and come inside, because he likes to come inside. Sometimes you see him out there and drifting inside as well. So, it wouldn't be a bad decision to change Gakpo.
That's some front 4, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, Isak will be coming in a team now that looks more settled and functioning. The start of Isak's career in Liverpool, they were awful. They were out of sorts. There was no rhythm, there was no cohesion, there was nothing working. And it's difficult with a new player coming in with no pre-season into a fold like that. Now everything looks like it's starting to gel. And if you add Isak into that mix now, come back fitter, come back fresher, it's a good thought to have. We saw a little glimpse of it before that terrible before that terrible injury, the goal he scored against Spurs. That's Isak. That's what we got him for. And obviously got that terrible injury, but hopefully
he's timing his return, Jermaine, for the last 16 of the Champions League, which is good. One more on the game on Saturday. Just thought we should shout out Curtis Jones, Jermaine. Was that a timely reminder of Curtis Jones' quality?
Yes, we've seen on the ball he's very comfortable, he's confident, great ability, and he's playing that position. He's playing at right back, but still look like like he's been playing there all his life. He makes them runs inside, not as a right back going down the line. He comes in as a midfielder, which is good for us, because when we play against teams with the low block, we're adding an extra body in there as well. And he's got still that mindset of a midfielder getting in. That's how he scored his goal at the back post. But yeah, it was a great performance, and coming the game against Nottingham Forest, we're going to have most of the ball. I think I'd like to see him play at the right back to give us that extra body as well.
Who do you want, Paul, in the last 16 of the FA Cup?
Oh, don't care. Honestly, don't care. I was walking away thinking, I think it's fifth quarter semi-final. I think we got 4 more games, is it? And I'm walking away talking with my daughter, trying to be positive, saying if we get the final, you're going to come with me, because she loves football now. My son, as I said, I've got 2 season tickets, one's for him, and he's just like, Dad, look, I'm being brutally honest with you. I want to be a professional boxer. I go to the match to keep you company. So it's sort of, I'm like one of them dads who's, them lads who's growing up dreaming of taking his sons at the match every week and hoping that my son's like me. And he is like me. He's just obsessed with boxing. He
doesn't love Liverpool.
Football or Liverpool. He loves Liverpool, but he's definitely not a blue. He's a red, and he comes.
But he only goes to the games to keep you company.
He broke me heart. He said, Dad, look, I only go to keep you company. He said, I'd rather be in a gym. And because the gym's like the gym's 10 minutes from Anfield, a walking distance. And he used to sprint up after the gym, and he'd come in, he'd sit beside me, and he'd be sweating after the gym. And it must have just done his head in some of the own games. So
how old is he?
He loves us. He's 19. He's just got a role in the BBC drama. He's an actor, so he's gonna have to go to Belfast for 3 months and stay over there. So I'm gonna have to go over and do a little bit of training with him.
What's the movie?
He's busy. It's a BBC drama.
Called
Time.
It's called Time.
Yeah,
he's a busy man. I tell you what, he's got professional boxer, professional actor. No wonder he doesn't want to go to the game with you.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but now my little girl wants to come, and she loves Ekitike. I'm buzzing. She's naming all the players, and she's telling me all the favourite players and all that. I'm thinking, okay, great. So in a weird twist of fate, the son's gone into boxing, and happy he's done that. But my little girl wants to come all the time. So if we get to Wembley, she'll be there. So I hope it's the easiest possible one off the draw that we can get.
Yeah.
Keep winning, get to the final. I could tell straight away, obviously, by the team selection on the weekend, that it's a serious effort for this cup. I think he could have, and possibly many people thought he would have played a lesser, stronger team, but it was a strong team. It was a really good strength team, and we got the win convincingly, rightly so. And so I think he's serious about the FA Cup.
And I think rightly so, but I think the fact that we're not in the league,
I think that's a big. I think that's
and
a
also,
big.
and this midweek as well. There's no game this midweek.
Yeah.
So I thought the fact that we play Saturday night, then we play Sunday against Forest. I thought there was no excuses not to play as strong as possible team.
Yeah, I think because we're out of the league now, and that's one competition gone. I think it's gone right. Well, the next 3, let's just go all out. See what we can win. See how far we can get. See if we can get to the final Champions League. Let's see if we get to one of the cups. I think that's his priority now.
Yeah. Well, we know Man City are probably going to get Mansfield, don't we? That's probably what. I mean, Man City, they don't get hard draws, do they? In cup competitions, by the way, do they? They never leave Manchester, and they only ever. Yeah. So Man City are going to get Mansfield. Maybe we'll take a Championship team at home. Southampton are in it, Norwich are in it. Nice home game at Anfield. Paul's poor lad will have to go and watch it to keep him company, and then we can maybe plan a trip down to Wembley Southport. How about that, hey?
Yeah, listen. I hope we do get down there. I was trying to explain to my daughter. I've took your brother to a few finals at Wembley, and we get the train down and park up, and then. Or we'll drive and park up at one of the train stations, get the tube in, but we'll get the train down, stay over if possible. And we're all making plans, obviously, and it's hopeful and positive thinking. But obviously, we've been to many finals before, and it's not unrealistic for a club like ours, especially if we're playing strong teams and we're making that a focus. As Jermaine just said, it's stupid not to. I think because we're realistically, there's not a chance for the league anymore. And the only chances of success is going to be these cups, whether it be the Champions League or whether it be the FA Cup. And as I said, I think the last time we won the FA Cup was when Costa scored the penalty, wasn't it? And it's been a little bit of a longer time than the other, the Community Shield, and so it would be nice to win it again.
Yeah, I think prioritise the FA Cup now, absolutely. Not win the Premier League this season. Champions League can be very, very difficult. Into the last 16, prioritise it. Go out, try and win another trophy this season. Another day out at Wembley. Absolutely all for it. I was happy you picked a strong team on Saturday night. Do you want to go back to the game on Wednesday, Jermaine? Because I think there's a couple of things I want to point out. Endo had to come in and play at right back. I thought he had a really, really good game. And then obviously got that nasty injury, didn't he, trying to clear a cross that came in. He kind of got his foot caught in the turf in a really tricky moment. But what was remarkable is he got up, didn't he, and defended the corner. And then obviously he went back down again because he was seriously hurt. But like an absolute warrior, isn't he? The fact that he got up to try and defend the corner, when quite clearly you could see on first replay, it was a nasty, nasty knock.
Yeah.
Tells you everything you need to know about him as a character.
Yeah, sometimes that's just the adrenaline as well. In the heat of the moment, you still got that adrenaline running through your body through the game.
You almost not feel the pain in that kind of first moment.
Yeah. And that's why you see players sometimes continue, have a few jogs, and then, I've got to go down. So he got up, defending the corner. And that's what he is. He's got a heart of a warrior. And he's been like that since he came to Liverpool. You bring him on, the enforcer, stop things, break things up. He's a great team player, a great player to have. And it's just so sad that, his chance came in, he was playing really well, solid, really solid. Not a fullback at heart, but he played like that's his position.
He was a fifth right back we've used this season, by the way. Yeah,
it's crazy that we've got so many problems at that position. I don't know what they're doing in training on the right-hand side of Liverpool, but it's not working.
The patch of pitch.
I don't know what it is.
Must be really awkward for the players.
But going back to Endo, we hope I
think Slot said on Saturday night there's a chance he could come back before the end of the season.
Yeah, well, we want these players to come back as soon as possible. We don't want to see no one injured for a long time because it's hard. And we want to, apply our trade on that pitch. So fingers crossed that he can get some more minutes by the end of the season.
That was Sunderland's first home defeat of the season. I didn't think we were our best in terms of, especially second half, in terms of how fluent we were. I thought first half we played some nice football. Verts could have scored another goal or two. But I thought what impressed me the most in that second half was the character we showed. I think at times this season, I think there have been games this season where I think we've been too easily beaten at the end. Like we need to have just been a little bit more solid, more aggressive and shown a little bit of bottle. And I think that's been lacking at times this season. But I thought that game, Sunderland away, that second half, we had to come under a little bit of pressure. I thought the way we defended and saw out the victory, I think filled me with lots of confidence because we could. I think that game was a couple of months ago. They score one, they probably score two. I thought the way they dug in there showed a lot of character.
Yeah, I thought everybody played fantastic, showed a lot of spirit, a lot of heart, and what it is to play for Liverpool. The defence was immense. I thought Konate in his battle with Robbie,
that was good.
Was a good old battle because he's a handful. And, Konate dealt with that. He started to win his headers. He was winning challenges. It was tough conditions as well. It was raining all day. The Sunderland pitch was soggy and muddy and heavy on the body. But they continued running. Poor Ekitike looked like he had nothing to give in the last 10 minutes. And that's what you want to see. You want to see your players come off that pitch absolutely shattered, meaning that they put in a shift. And yeah, it's, like I said, unbeaten all season, a tough place to go. Yeah. And to also keep a clean sheet and get the win. And yeah, we could have scored more goals if it was a little bit more clinical around the box.
Verts could have had a hat-trick in that first half.
But all in all, that's what we did last season as champions. We wasn't sometimes, blitzing teams 3s and 4s. We was going away to these horrible, hard places, being solid, and just getting a 1-0 and walking away and go, thank you for the 3 points.
I remember some late goals. We had that, remember Nottingham Forest away. Nunes scored that header, didn't he, right at the end.
Jota coming off the bench, scoring a last-minute one.
Brentford away there was as well.
Yeah.
I think Nunes might have scored...
He scored 2.
Was it Nunes who scored the header against Forest away? That was Nunes, wasn't it? And then there was Brentford away as well. I think we were 1 down going to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Jermaine just said
and he took both goals really well there, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. He did. He did, and as I say, his contributions are few and far between, so shall we say. But, and I'm not putting him down saying that, but when he did, obviously, there was arguments in that season, would we have done as well as we did if he hadn't popped up and rescued them games. So it's probably his transfer fee was probably justified with them 2 games alone.
And Paul, timely reminder on Wednesday night as well. He hasn't played too much football the last couple of weeks. He was linked with a move to Tottenham. But, Andy Robertson I never want that man to leave. Andy Robertson can only leave the football club when he physically cannot walk anymore, because he came into that team, didn't he, on Wednesday night, and he was perfect, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's done great. And as I said, you would expect him to start in the FA Cup, again, just from the outside looking in, because obviously he's second choice now. And I'm sure he's a proud man as well. He probably won't want to go out and spend another season at Liverpool being the number 2 and known as the number 2 at Liverpool, considering obviously what he's done and what he's done since he came to the club. He's been a great ambassador for the club, a top player in his day. And if he's leaving for pastures new to have one last go at it, then good luck to him. I wish him all the very best. But obviously, we're seeing improvements now in Kerkez. Costa Simicas is still on loan. The left-back position is a lot stronger at the moment than the right-back position, to say the least. So we're a little bit spoiled for choice over there and desperate on the other side.
Right, I've done this before on this show, but I don't care. I'm doing it again. Next 3 games in the Premier League on paper, they look tempting, don't they? But I know,
don't jinx us, Sam.
No, well, I'm not sure I've done that. Forest away on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Then we got West Ham the following week at Anfield, a Saturday 3 o'clock game. You better tell your lad Saturday 3 o'clock, you have to keep you company at Anfield in a couple of weeks' time. And then after that, we got Wolves away. They look nice fixtures on paper, don't they, Jermaine?
They do. Winnable, and we should be winning, but we know the Premier League, what kind of banana skins that this league likes to throw out. So listen, you can't take them lightly, but the way we're playing, and I think the way we're peeking round the corner, we should win these games. I'm not saying they're all going to be comfortable.
Forest have got a new manager, haven't they? Vitor Pereira. They play Thursday, by the way, in the Europa League as well, away from home in Turkey, which will work in our favour. We've got a rare week off.
We have, but there's something about Nottingham Forest and Liverpool at the moment that we find that place and that team for some reason very difficult.
3-0 Anfield early in the season, wasn't it?
I don't think we've beat them yet. Yeah. It's been very, very difficult. So yeah, it's going to be a tough ask. But again, they're not in a solid place. They're still trying to figure out things, and hopefully, like I said, we're peeking around the corner. We can get the 3 points there. So overall, we should win all these games. Also,
play Saturday night. Obviously, 8 days off until Sunday, which is a big gap, isn't it, in the season? Do you think some of the players would have maybe had a couple of days away, maybe go on a nice little couple nights away from home?
Oh, absolutely. If the gaffer's giving them a few days off, then get yourself away or whatever, with the family, with your partner or whatnot, and just have a little relax, let your hair down, come back refreshed, ready to go. 100%, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, hopefully, Paul, we don't see Arnie Slot, though, in Ibiza giving it on the DJ decks again like the end of last season. That's where it all went wrong, wasn't it? When he went to Ibiza.
Yeah, it looked great at the time. I was laughing my head off, thinking, look at him, how cool is he? How cool is our new manager? He's great, and he just like what Klopp was. And then it's again a bit of a case. Like everyone's slagging him off now. He should have been an Ibiza. He should have been sorting your team out. And all
I'm buzzing they went to Ibiza last season. They deserved it.
Yeah, the same. Listen, at the end of the day, Jermaine knows a lot more about this than me with football, but with boxing, once you're in camp, you're in camp. With football, it's a long, prolonged season. You can't just peak and stay at the top. You've got to sort of taper down a little bit. And I imagine a couple of days off here or there with football is not going to be as detrimental to them as people would think. If anything, it could help them mentally. It could help them a lot more physically and mentally as well. Just having that little bit of a switch off before you go back to the hard work.
The new manager bounce, is that like an actual thing?
It is, because everybody wants to...
Do you think statistically it'd be backed up? Do you think if
100%.
If somebody looked at every time in Premier League history their new manager came in, do you think there's more wins than losses in the new manager bounce?
I know for a fact there is. It's because as a player, when you get a new manager comes in, you don't know his faults. You don't know what plays he likes.
Style.
You don't know, if he prefers this player or that player. You don't know if you once was a starter under a certain manager. You get a new manager come in, you may not be his favourite. So when the new manager comes in, you're playing for your place ultimately. So you want to impress. It's like you want to impress, like, yeah, hello, look at me, I'm the good student. And in training, playing, hopefully getting that sort. So that's why all the team give it a little extra little 5% boost than they would normally under the manager who knows, like, week in, week out, they may have an off game, but they know they're going to be playing the next week. When you've got a new manager in, you don't know that. So you give it a little bit more.
I guess good for us. This will be a second game in charge, won't it?
Yeah.
They'll have first league game, but they'll have the Europa League game on Thursday night. So now it's time for our bet builder with BetMGM. Remember, you can download the app or head to betmgm.co.uk. So Nottingham Forest versus the Liverpool team. Let's try and put together a bet builder. Jermaine, coming to you first.
I'm going to go, because I think we've saw his last 2 games, 2 assists. I'm going to go Salah assist for me.
Yeah, I like that. He's in form. A little bit of rest. I like that. Paul, have you got one for us?
Yeah, I've done us both teams to score every time. We've kept clean sheets last 2, so I'm going to do Liverpool to keep a clean sheet.
Okay, I like that. I think that's a good shout. Liverpool clean sheet.
I like clean sheets.
Yeah. Hey, 2 in a row, boys. Can we go 3 in a row?
Clean sheet, win leagues and games.
Yeah. Clean sheets, get your
Good
top 4,
shout,
win the
Paul.
Champions League and the FA Cup. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think one of us has to go with Liverpool to win, obviously. Yeah. So I'll go Liverpool to win. So that's our bet builder with BetMGM for Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool this Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We got a Liverpool win. Both teams to score, no. And we've also got a Mo Salah assist. I like the look of that. We are obviously edging closer towards Forest Liverpool. We're also edging closer towards the end of March and that Liverpool Legends game against Borussia Dortmund. I was having a look, which Jermaine Pennant, by the way, is playing in, which is really, really cool. I was having a look at the Liverpool coaching team. The manager is Sir Kenny Dalglish.
Yep.
The assistant manager is Jurgen Klopp. And if that isn't good enough, 2 coaches, Ian Rush and John Aldridge. So if you need
Star-studded, Sam. It's star-studded.
If you need some advice at half-time, you've got 4 good football brains there to try and get the best out of you, Jammer.
Yeah, but I'm thinking we're speaking to Klopp saying, are you going Real Madrid?
You're trying to get exclusive.
I'll try and get an exclusive.
Let me know if you need a physio, please.
It's pretty star-studded though, Jermaine, isn't it? Obviously, Gerrard's going to play. You say Torres is playing as well?
I think he's maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But like I said, there's Skirtle, there's Aga, there's some great old teammates.
Martin Skirtle has hair now, by the way. Did you know that, Paul? I Googled Martin Skirtle earlier and he's got a full head of hair, which I think just doesn't look right on him, does it?
I didn't know that, but in this day and age, it's better to keep quiet. And you can do anything now. You can have a new head of hair. You can have absolutely anything. So yeah, he was some player when he was an animal scale.
He was an animal. He was aggressive. He always scared me though. Like he wouldn't survive in VAR. He literally tried to take the other player's shirt off for corners, didn't he?
Yeah, he was an animal. He was so funny as well. We played in the last game against Chelsea in the Legends. We won 1-0. And him and Diego Costa and Skirtle still having it after 15 years. Yeah. Still going toe-to-toe. They went head-to-head, face-to-face, nose-to-nose. It's like, come on, guys, leave it out. It's still got a bit.
I remember that because I remember there was a League Cup game at Stamford Bridge. We had I think Chelsea knocked us out in Brendan Rodgers' manager. And they were literally, for 180 minutes, it was 2-leg semi-final. They were going at it. Yeah. Right, that's to come in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully, though, boys, next time we reunited together in London next Tuesday, would have had another 3 points against Nottingham Forest. Paul, Jermaine, good stuff. Enjoy the week, boys.
Well, thank you.
This has been the latest episode of Inside Liverpool on TalkSport's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs. No better way to start a Monday morning than by talking about Liverpool Football Club with my two favourite people. And hey, am I going too early? Maybe. I don't care. But after the last 50 minutes, top four football's on. We're winning the Champions League. We're winning the FA Cup. We're back, aren't we? Well, maybe. We're getting there. We're peeking around the corner. We'll see you next week.